Tropical Storm K will bring significant flooding impacts to Southern California this weekend. Meanwhile, Hurricane Earl will strengthen into a Category 2 or 3 hurricane as we get in through the next couple of days across the western Atlantic. And what this means for the tropics here going through the middle of September with two more named systems possible, which could become Tropical Storm Fiona and Tropical Storm Gaston through the next couple of days into the next 5 days, as well as a strong cold front bringing much below normal temperatures across the middle of the country into the plains and upper Midwest, with some heavy rainfall falling across the western Great Lakes into early next week, and also the long-range weather pattern with warm-up continuing through the end of the month of September. Welcome back, everyone. Hope everybody's having a great Friday morning out there. If you guys are new to the channel, this is Weather on the Go. Again, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe down below. It's free to do. And again, you get all my weather forecasts and daily updates here on this weather channel moving forward. Starting here with the Eastern Pacific, we got Tropical Storm K moving into portions of the northern Baja of California, and this will send some very strong moisture up here into Southern California through the next couple of days. And you can see that with the visible satellite imagery. We got some deep convection here with the deeper reds, deeper oranges. That is some thunderstorm activity that is going to continue to propagate northward into Southern California through the next couple of days, bringing some widespread moisture and significant flooding impacts across places like Los Angeles and over into southwestern portions of Arizona through the next couple of days. Looking here at the track of this is going to continue to back west-northwestward through the next couple of days here into the weekend, and then kind of move a little bit farther south and then back to the east here as a post-tropical depression as we head into early next week. We still got tropical storm warnings across portions of the Baja of California into northwestern Mexico. Those will expire as we head into this weekend as the system continues to peel off to the west. Looking here at the intensity of Tropical Storm K, it's going to drop back to a post-tropical depression as we head through the next 48 to 72 hours. It's going to quickly diminish in intensity, and it is going to bring some heavy rainfall to Southern California as well as far southern Nevada, western portions there of Arizona. That's where we see the green shaded colors here. Those are flood watches for the potential for significant flooding across this region through the next couple of days into the weekend. And you can see here into Southern California and portions of western Arizona, far southern Nevada, we could be seeing some heavy rainfall across the next 48 hours on places like Los Angeles and back to the east across far southern California. We could have isolated instances of 3 to 6 inches of rain falling through the next couple of days, ending here later on this weekend. So definitely some flooding impacts here. The Weather Prediction Center does forecast a slight to a moderate risk for excessive rainfall with numerous flash flooding events possible in this area of Southern California and extreme southwestern Arizona through the next couple of days. So definitely want to keep in mind, again, there could be some flash flooding with some ponding on the roadways. Also, some landslides are possible across portions here of Southern California as we head into this weekend. Looking back across the Atlantic, we got Hurricane Earl strengthening across portions of the western Atlantic here as we speak. You can see Earl right here with the eye wall starting to form across portions of the western Atlantic. We got strong convection surrounding this with lots of thunderstorm activity. A strengthening eye wall does mean this is going to become a stronger hurricane as we head through the next day or so, and that is the case as this will strengthen to a major hurricane, a Category 3 hurricane as we head into this evening and this afternoon, and then maintaining hurricane status as we head all the way through the end of this weekend before dropping back to a tropical storm into early next week across the northern Atlantic. Again, this is passing just to the east of Bermuda and really will be across the open waters of the northwestern and northern Atlantic. So kind of more of a nuisance to anybody out here across portions of the U.S. or Canada. So that is some good news. Looking at the hurricane intensity for Earl, we got this continuing to kind of strengthen to a Category 3 system within the next 24 hours before slowly starting to decrease in intensity towards a Category 2, a Category 1, and then eventually back to a tropical storm through the next 60 to 84 hours here with Hurricane Earl. And looking at this here, where this will go, it looks like a 955 millibar low pressure center here. Very strong major hurricane, Category 3 later on this afternoon. This will quickly race off to the north and east, and by Saturday afternoon, already just east here of eastern Canada with a 952 millibar low there. And again, as we get into early portions of next week on your Monday, September September 12th. Earl will eventually get back to tropical storm strength with a 977 millibar low over the open waters of the North Atlantic. But as I did mention, we got two more systems that could be named across the southern Atlantic Ocean if these do become tropical storms here. The next two names would be Fiona and Gaston, so we'll continue to watch that. The first of which we're watching through the next 2 to 5 days is this 40% chance probability from the National Hurricane Center across the southern Atlantic, and also this large 20% area just to the south of that here, which could become Gaston or Fiona as we head through the next 2 to 5 days. So that will be something to watch as we get into early next week. So looking at this early next week, picking up here on your Monday, September 12th, it looks like a 1,008 millibar low, which could be a developing tropical depression potentially as early as Monday. As we get into the middle of next week, we could have a couple of tropical depressions, if not low-end tropical storms developing across the southern Atlantic Ocean as we get towards the middle of next week for your Wednesday, September 14th. So these will be the next two systems we're watching, which could again become Fiona and Gaston as we move into the early and middle portion of next week. And again, it's not a big surprise. We got a lot of warmer water temperatures out here in the orange shaded colors and the red shaded colors. Again, 25 to 30 degrees Celsius water temperatures. That essentially equates to 80 to 85 degree water temperatures here with Fahrenheit. So that is definitely very impressive. And again, this hurricane season is still very active. The tropics are going to be very active here for the next several days to come as we get across the Atlantic and portions of the Caribbean and maybe even the Gulf as well moving forward. So continue to watch that. Looking back here across the United States, though, we got a stronger trough digging in across the northern United States and southern Canada this afternoon, sending a strong cold front across portions of the northern plains and eventually down into the mid-Mississippi Valley as we head into this weekend. This will pick up here on your Saturday as we get into tomorrow, starting to kind of weaken with the trough a little bit as that cold front drops south and then becomes kind of an upper level low, kind of a cutoff low pressure system across the western Great Lakes toward the Chicagoland area as we head into early next week on your Monday, September 12th. And what this will do is send a strong cold front southward with this trough. Look at these high temperatures later on this afternoon, widespread upper 60s to low 70s across much of Montana, the Dakotas, north central Minnesota, all the way down into northern portions of Nebraska and even the front range of the Rockies there. Ahead of the cold front, we still got all that heat from Iowa all the way down to Texas, low to mid 90s across much of these areas here from Lubbock, Texas, all the way up to Kansas City and Des Moines, Iowa this afternoon. But that cold front will continue to sink down to the south on your Saturday, bringing more widespread upper 60s to lower 70s. And even, guys, look at this, lower 60s across portions of western Nebraska into the front range of the Rockies as we head into your Saturday afternoon with, again, places like Detroit, Chicago, all the way down to Kansas City in the low to mid 80s. Some lower to middle 90s can be expected from Tulsa to Oklahoma City, all the way down to the Red River here into North Texas as we head into your Saturday. But even on your Sunday, this cold front will continue to track its way to the south and east, bringing much needed, fall preview of temperatures across this area with some mid 60s, with some heavier rainfall potential across the western Great Lakes into Wisconsin, eastern Iowa, northern Illinois as we head here into your Sunday, September 11th. And again, along the immediate Gulf Coast there, that's where the heat will be with upper 80s to middle 90s expected from central Texas all the way over to the Carolinas as we head into your Sunday, September 11th. And looking here at this upper level low pressure system, we got this developing as we head into the western Great Lakes on your Sunday late this weekend. And again, you can see these green shaded areas bringing some moisture with it here, 1 to maybe 1.5 standard deviations above climatology for precipitation here. And again, this will have some wraparound moisture with it here all the way back across the northern and western Great Lakes into Wisconsin, eastern Iowa, and northwestern Illinois into early next week. And what this will mean is we're going to have, with that cold front, some heavy rainfall potentially with this low pressure system wrapping itself around and kind of getting cut off from the main flow in the jet stream. Widespread 2 to 4 inches of rainfall can be expected from central Iowa all the way back through south central Wisconsin and maybe getting into western Michigan here. Places like Green Bay, Milwaukee, Madison, Wisconsin, La Crosse, Prairie du Chien, and all the way back towards portions of Des Moines, Iowa. We could be expecting some heavy rainfall there as well, with maybe some isolated flash flooding going into early next week. But looking beyond that, as we get towards the middle of September, the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center does favor a ridge building back in across the center of the country and propagating its way to the east with a trough off the west coast. That does mean some cooler temperatures from California all the way up to the Pacific Northwest with that trough. But with that ridge building back in across the middle and eastern portion of the country, we're definitely going to be seeing warmer than normal conditions for the middle of September as we move in towards that 14th through the 18th time frame here in September. Looking at precipitation, looks pretty active across the Intermountain West and the Upper Midwest as we get towards that Wednesday, September 14th through the Sunday, September 18th time frame with drier than normal conditions, kind of a classic La Nina pattern from Texas all the way to the mid-Atlantic and Ohio Valley with drier than normal conditions during that period. And looking a little farther out, this heat does have some staying power. This warmer than normal temperatures have staying power all the way through Thursday, September 22nd, with that ridge remaining locked in place across the center of the country here and across the eastern United States as well. And a trough continuing across the portions of California, Nevada, and the Pacific Northwest. And again, that active jet stream will remain across the northern U.S. here, across much of the northern Rockies, the northern plains, and the upper Midwest as well. We might have some precipitation sinking down as far south here as northern Kansas and northern portions of Missouri, but again, largely a classic La Nina pattern where the desert Southwest stays near normal to slightly below normal with precipitation, as well as the same here for portions of the Tennessee Valley, the Southeast, and the Mid-Atlantic as we head towards that third week in September. Looking at this ridge, again, you can see that ridge building in as we head toward the middle of next week with these orange shaded colors here. That is some warmer than normal temperatures kind of infiltrating the middle of the country and the eastern half of the United States into the middle of next week on your Wednesday, September 14th. This will build a little bit stronger as we head towards Thursday, September 15th, with more of those well above normal temperatures favored across the central and southern plains, all the way across to the Ohio Valley and much of the eastern United States, with that trough with some of these cooler temperatures here across portions of California and getting up into the Pacific Northwest with more of that active pattern as well. It looks like we'll have a trough here, and when we have a trough, we could have kind of a low pressure system develop on the base of the trough here towards portions of the Southwest, which could bring some more beneficial rains to parts of the West here into Nevada, Utah, and getting down into Arizona, maybe even California into next weekend. So that will be some good news. We will also have to watch this pattern. If this trough kind of shows signs of ejecting into the middle of the country, we could be talking about some isolated severe weather across the northern and central plains. We'll have to watch into the following week. So we'll continue to watch that. We have several days before now and then, but looking at this here, again, cooler than normal temperatures across the West, warmer temperatures across the East. Again, if this trough kind of makes headways to the east, moving into these warmer temperatures into the following week, we could be talking about some trouble on the regards of some severe weather. So that will be something to watch as well. Thank you all for watching. Definitely appreciate it. Remember to like the video down below by giving it a thumbs up. Leave your comments, questions, and concerns below. I'll get to those later on today. And subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. Our goal is 1,000 subscribers. Please subscribe down below. It's free to do. And again, thank you guys for watching. And I hope everybody has a great Friday, great weekend out there. And I'll see you all in the next video.